Yes, ma'am.
Here, I got out of my Bluetooth. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect. Cool. Hello. My name's Kat, and so I know I cut it in the middle of the podcast, but what made you want to move out to the U.S.? 'Cause I did hear, like, I got up to the point where you said that, like, the money in Jamaica is, like, worth more, but from all of the other countries, what made you choose the U.S.?
The U.S. I mean, actually, the U.S. is one of the first countries I've ever traveled to. So
Oh,
traveling
really?
here,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So traveling here, I get to build a relationship with my employer, and just by doing that,
Uh-huh.
I get to know people here. So so traveling here, I mean, this is actually my second home because I traveled here for like 6 months, go back to Jamaica like 6 months. So I like it
Mm-hmm.
here. I'm not a citizen as yet, but will I live here? Maybe someday. All right, but I would definitely like to still travel back and forth. But it's the
Oh,
it's the employers while I'm here still.
oh, that's
And one
wonderful.
thing he did,
And also,
and one,
okay.
just one question, because he only has a couple more minutes. So I'm going to go to 240.
Hi, Kina. So my question
Mhm.
is,
Uh-huh.
I happen to have friends back in Jamaica, and one of the things that I see here back there was that my friend lives at home, with their family. It's like
Uh-huh.
everyone in the house is an adult, and I see
Yeah.
that with immigrant families here. American families are like, when you're approaching 18, it's like, what's the plan? You're getting to be 18. What's your plan? You're going to college, you're getting a job, but you got to move. You got to get out. So is that common that families stay together? I don't know if it's throughout your life. I know you said that you want to be able to buy a home yourself, but
Yes.
is that common for families to stay together?
Yeah, so in Jamaica, family is very strong. Family is very important. All right, so here it's a bit different because what I find out here is that when you reach a certain age, it's like the norm to move out, live in your own apartment and everything. But back home, it's a bit different. When you finish college, your parent might say, hey, you can build a room here, you can build a room there. They give you a piece of land, you can build there. So family in Jamaica sort of stay together instead of moving to an apartment or wherever. They stay together and they build a house where each and everyone can live. In other words, they will call it tenement yard. In Jamaica, it's called a tenement yard where you have cousins, mom, aunts, everyone are living together. It's very common there. So, families in Jamaica is close and they try to stay together as best as possible.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Yeah, they have things in the house too.
Well, definitely thank you so much for that. And tonight we're talking about love and business. And I know everyone has heard the saying before, you cannot mix business with pleasure. So when we get back from our break, we're going to talk about, have you ever mixed business with pleasure? And can love and business work together, or maybe not?
Hello, I'm Karen, and here's today's trending news topic. No longer can we simply give a firm handshake when we formally meet someone, as one company's hand sanitizer products contain potentially a deadly substance. The FDA warns that one Mexico company hand sanitizer products contain methanol, which can be deadly when absorbed through the skin or ingested. Now, back to you.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And listen, ladies, so thinking about love and business, some people, when they're doing business, they cannot be focused. And when love gets in the way and your heart's involved, it's a whole nother level. So I got a couple of questions to the ladies that's on the line tonight. And maybe you want to answer, maybe not. But my first question is, have you ever done business with someone that you love? And if so, tell us a little about how that actually worked. And let's start with 267.
Yes, this is C. Yeah, I did try to do a business with someone that I loved. However, they did not put in that required us even doing business. Though it was their idea, the business plan, I did all the work, and they basically did nothing and didn't show up. I don't know if because we were in a relationship, maybe they thought that they could do the minimum, but yeah, it didn't work out.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that. How about you, 707?
Hello. So have I done business with a loved one? Yes, I have. So I probably mentioned this certain act like so many times, but so he started over 5 startup companies like in a year, and he actually had an assistant that had left or just went down and went to another company. And so I was literally his assistant, and this is what gave me the experience of being in the tech industry. And so down the road, I thought it wasn't a really good idea because it did ruin our relationship at some point, and it also took advantage of like my own business and my own time. And so yeah, like I've done it, and personally, if two couples can be a power couple and do it together without conflict, it's possible. But for me personally, it was hard.
I can definitely imagine. How about you, Miss Destiny? And thank you, Kat, for sharing that. How about you, Destiny?
So I've never done it. I am married to a wonderful, I love him. I did recently get to the point where, since I can't see, and my job pays me through PayPal, so I did recently get to the point where I would just transfer my money over to his bank account and his card. So we usually help each other with whatever, with our business. Like I transfer money, he pays me, or he'll just pay me on his own page. It does get kind of difficult sometimes. We do argue a little bit, but for the most part, that's what happens, I guess, for the most part. But we do argue. It is hard.
Okay. Well, definitely thank you so much for sharing that. How about you, Chanel?
I have not tried to run a business with a love partner. I have with a good girlfriend and with a family member. Did not work out for the same reasons that Corinne said. They just didn't put in the effort. It really was my business, and I was trying to fold them in because of their particular talents. I thought it would be an asset, and it just didn't pan out. And I don't think, in looking back, I don't think it's really a good idea to mix love and business. It doesn't work. I don't think in most cases.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I have 2 other questions for you guys. The next question is, have you ever done business with someone and you later crossed the line and it turned into love? And I just want to say, if you don't have a business, you can have done like short-term business. Hey, we did a project together or something like that, even if you wasn't actually in a business. So have you ever done business with someone and you later crossed the line and it turned into love? Tell us about that if you've experienced that. And I'm just going to ask just the audience, because everyone might not have experienced that before. So if you have, tell us about it, if you don't mind.
This is 240.
Okay.
And,
okay.
I made the tragic mistake of accepting a date with a gentleman that did work I hired 3 times for some work. Of course, the very first time I was commenting in my mind about how fine he was. But it was the worst mistake ever. Just the worst mistake ever. Yeah, after we started to date, of course, he continued to do work for me, but the work just fell off. It just fell way off to the point, the last time I hired him was very, very ugly. Just ugly.
Ooh. That sounds a little uncomfortable. Anyone else want to share? Come on, ladies. Okay, come on.
This is C. I never been in a situation where I pursued someone or someone. Well, I've never been in a situation, I guess, where it turned romantic. But I have been in a situation where someone has tried to be romantic and we worked together, and it didn't work out because at that time I was in a relationship. But they were persistent with trying to pursue me even though they knew I was in a relationship. And after a while, it just became annoying.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can definitely, and I know you wouldn't want to even see anyone if you're already in a relationship and they're trying to score. That can definitely be uncomfortable. Anyone else experience this?
I'll share. This is Catherine. So
okay.
I've been in that situation. So yeah, I was actually, before I started working at Salesforce, I was working for a pharmaceutical company, and so at some point I was never into like my boss or anything, but once I switched out of like the area we were working together, he actually like expressed feelings and we did date for a bit, but then like because I was only like 23 and I listened to my parents, they told me don't mix business and pleasure, and so I totally listened to my parents about it, and so from there, like honestly, love happens out of anywhere, and like I said, if two people can make it work out and they know how to stay professional at times and they're not like eating lovey-dovey, all that, I definitely think there's no problem with that. But me personally, it never always works, but yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks for letting me share.
Exactly. All right, so the last question I have, and this is a hypothetical if you haven't experienced this before. If you were in a relationship with someone and the relationship ended, do you think that you can just focus only on the business? Because, again, this is about love and business. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Can you stay focused? So once again, the question is, if you were in a relationship with someone and the relationship ended, do you think that you could focus only on the business? And I want to hear what Corinne has to say.
I think that would be really hard, just because, especially if that person moves on and you haven't, because then or even if you moved on, because either one of you are going to be basically parading your new relationship around that next person. It's going to be hard to move on when you see that other person every day. So yeah, I don't know. That would be really hard, and especially if we ended on bad note. Hopefully we can still talk and still be cordial enough to do business. Because my intention is never to let something like a relationship that isn't really going to manifest into anything take over my life, and especially my money.
Okay, definitely makes sense. All right, how about you, Destiny?
That is a really great question, and I love all the questions because you always make me think really hard about them. I told it just because through everything that, like, I mean, if I was in a relationship and it did end badly, I don't know. I might be able to focus still on business, but it would definitely be very hard. I'm a very caring, emotional person, and you'll see that when you meet me. I wear my heart so much on my sleeve, and I've been told that over and over and over again, and it's cost me a lot of a lot of debt, a